everyone. This is an audio presentation which will be based on social control and the school. A little brief introduction before we get into the audio presentation is that social control in school aims to create an environment where students learn not only academic subjects but also crucial life skills related to responsible behavior, self-discipline, and respect for others. First, we will have 4 students, 2 from primary school and 2 from high school, to share their common behaviors of students at their school.
I am 7 years old. I attend a primary school in Region 6. One common behavior is children talking during class discussion. My teacher will respond by reminding pupils of the importance of active listening and let them know they need to listen.
I am 10 years old and I attend a primary school in Region 6. And one behavior of the students in my school is bullying children that wear glasses, and they call them 4-eye. And the teacher scolded them and told them it is not nice to do that.
13 years old, I attend a secondary school in Rosal. One of the behavior towards the teacher is sucking up the teeth, and they talk while the teacher is in the class, and the teacher will either cry them to the head teacher or call their parents.
I am a 12-year-old attending a secondary school in Region 6. One common behavior of students of our school is students leaving assignments for the last moment, and sometimes they don't complete any assignment at all. Teachers often educate students on time management and organizing skills so that they can able to complete the assignment.
Here are 2 parents who will share what schools can do to maintain social control.
Schools plays a major role in maintaining social control in our society today. Now, school can do this by setting rules and standards, allowing the children to be a part of the class rules making, and at the same time following the general school rules. Now, in terms of the class rules making, you will have them create the sanctions that will go along with those rules. Now, if those rules are not kept, this is what will happen, or that is what will happen. You have them directly involved, because we know some of these children that are coming from various homes, they're coming with different kind of behavior, different kind of upbringing, and to have it under control, this is the only way the school can set a proper standard. Also, the schools can have groups like clubs and all of that, where they can have persons coming in and talking to them, modeling their behaviors. For example, the secondary school children, we had a primary level, you will have more of a control, but the secondary level you can have special persons coming in, specialists coming in and holding several conferences or talking to them, having them engage in one-to-one group session and meaningful discussion showing them the reality of their behavior and the outcome of it and all of these things. So basically, the school will help in maintaining the social control by setting rules and standards. Schools plays a major role in maintaining social control in our society today. Now, school can do this by setting rules and standards, allowing the children to be a part of the class rules making, and at the same time following the general school rules. Now, in terms of the class rules making, you will have them create the sanctions that will go along with those rules. Now, if those rules are not kept, this is what will happen, or that is what will happen. You have them directly involved, because we know some of these children that are coming from various homes, they're coming with different kind of behavior, different kind of upbringing, and to have it under control, this is the only way the school can set a proper standard. Also, the schools can have groups like clubs and all of that, where they can have persons coming in and talking to them, modeling their behaviors. For example, the secondary school children, we had a primary level, you will have more of a control, but the secondary level you can have special persons coming in, specialists coming in and holding several conferences or talking to them, having them engage in one-to-one group session and meaningful discussion, showing them the reality of their behavior and the outcome of it and all of these things. So basically, the school will help in maintaining the social control by setting rules and standards.
So here is a counselor point of view. She will be highlighting some causes of deviant behavior in children and what can be done in school to help those children, and the type of support available beyond the school gate for deviant.
Currently serving as a guidance and counselor officer for 2 secondary schools and 1 primary school in region number 6. In this short 5 to 15 minutes presentation, I am expected to do the following 3 things. 1, I will be sharing my views on some of the causes of deviant behavior in schools. 2, discuss what can be done in the school to help these children. 3, discuss the types of support available beyond the school gate for deviant behavior. My views on some of the causes of deviant behavior among students in schools include and are not limited to 1, lack of coping skills or lack of conflict resolution. 2, peer pressure. 3, lack of family support or lack of family values. 4, societal factors. And 5, social media. These areas will be discussed respectively. 1, lack of conflict resolution or coping skills. Within the school environment, a male or female student usually encounters several problems such as bullying, fighting, or confrontations, etc., that usually make them susceptible to deviant behavior. As a guidance and counselor officer, I realize that some students usually find it difficult to deal with or handle certain situations that may cause them to retaliate and cause injuries to others and even themselves. Research also describes an adolescent as someone who is unstable, angry, moody, self-conscious, and inexperienced in handling emotional and physical problems. As a result of these mechanisms, I believe that a lot of students don't know how to cope and navigate certain challenges as they interface with their peers at school from various races, cultural, and economic backgrounds. This outcome is likely to cause several disagreements and clashes among students, which cause them to break the school regulations at both secondary and primary level. So what can be done? I believe there should be a collaborative effort between parents, teachers, and social workers to help enable students to deal with conflict whenever it arises and how to deal with it non-violently. Number two, we need to help students, to understand that conflict is something that is unavoidable and nothing is wrong in having conflict, but the way how we deal with it is what really matters. We also need to teach them on the conflict resolution skills. What can be done is that we can teach them negotiation skills. It is also important for parents, teachers, and professionals to be aware of some of these challenges and have first-hand information about adolescents' challenges in order to guide them appropriately as they go through this significant and difficult stage in their life. As a guidance and counselor officer, I can also teach students the necessary coping skills by creating various activities through clubs to teach them what is acceptable behavior and what is not acceptable from them as a student. Significant persons can also take the responsibility to be conscious of the fact that we used to be at that stage at once in our lives, so we can also identify with some of the things that they are going through. We'll now look at the types of support available beyond the school gate for deviant students who might be experiencing difficulty in coping with challenges. Some of the support available beyond the school gate for deviant students include and is not limited to our committed family support. This is one of the major challenges, Yes, some parents, they have their children, but how many of them are committed in helping their child? Where we need families where family members will help guide their children accordingly. We also need something that is beyond the school gate for deviant students is recurrent empowerment and support from government and non-government organizations. Another cause for deviant behavior in school among students is peer pressure. Peer pressure is when a student is influenced by another student negatively to be involved in illegal activities. For example, it is noticeable in some of our school settings that some students are identified as being as part of a group or gang. Within these gangs or groups, some students are influenced negatively to participate in illegal activities on the school premises. Some of these illegal activities include and are not limited to smoking, alcohol consumption, bullying, sex, etc. What can be done? As a guidance and counselor officer, I strongly believe that we can collaborate with parents, teachers, in order to help these students to develop positive values such as caring for others, having integrity, honesty, and the list goes on. As a guidance and counselor also, I can help build on students' internal assets by strengthening their social competencies through training in decision making and responsibility. We can also empower students to display positive peer influence by modeling responsible behavior, such as restraining the use of alcohol and other drugs, and encourage them, not to be involved in sex at the early stage, because you don't want them to experience teenage pregnancy that will cause them to be out of the school system at a very early stage. The types of support available beyond the school gate for deviant students under peer pressure is 1. Construction use of time. Students can be encouraged to be involved in extracurricular activities both within and outside the school system. For example, they can be involved in creative activities by spending their time wisely in lessons of practice in music, whether they could learn to play an instrument or whether to sing, so many things they can be involved in on the music. Sports. Some of them might want to play cricket, some of them might be interested in swimming. Whatever areas they are involved in, we can explore. We also need recreational parks, whereby students can go out and, socialize and to be involved, in activities. We do not have much of this around in, some school areas. We also need to include religious organizations. They can plan programs to help target youths on acceptable moral behavior in society. In our society, we have the Muslims, we have Christians, we have Hindu, whatever social skills that students can build on that can help them morally. We also need to educate them on this aspect. Another thing that is beyond, another type of support available beyond the school gate for deviant students under peer pressure is recurrent support group. We need to have ongoing support groups for parents in the communities as well, so that they can influence their children. Thank you very much for listening to my presentation on some of the causes of deviant behaviors among students in schools, whereby I focus on the lack of communication skills, peer pressure, lack of support, the values, societal factors, and social